Hello and welcome back to another episode on Journey to Authenticity, a podcast helping you to become fully authentic on your journey to success. I'm your host, Braiden Belnap, and I'm a human just like you, striving to build a dream life, all while I stay true to myself. But what if you're in a position of lacking confidence? Lacking confidence to the point that you're not showing up fully for yourself, the ones you love, the world for that matter. You're not showing up for your business, your career, your lifestyle, what is possible, to the point that you don't see it changing. You don't see it ever transforming in your life. You see yourself stuck and staying the same. That's exactly why we're here, because just that held me back for so long. Held me back for so long to the point that it affected my relationships and what I was truly doing in this world. I just want to ask you right now, whether you're in the lack of confidence or maybe you've overcome that. But how did lack of confidence affect you? What did that look like for you? How did it affect your life on a personal measure? How did it affect your emotions, your thoughts? Maybe your relationships, or ultimately how you showed up in the world and how you wanted to show up in the world to truly find fulfillment and love. For me, the lack of confidence created it to where I was acting in a way that was far beyond what I ever thought I would act in accordance of. I started drugs and alcohol in the 7th grade. If you asked my younger self that, I would have always said no. Dare, never do drugs, right? In high school, I didn't know how to cope with emotions. I didn't know how to speak of them. My lack of confidence affected me in so many different areas across so many different time frames. And am I grateful for that now? Absolutely. It allows me to connect with you. It allows me to help other people build that unstoppable superhero confidence. It allows me to help people walk in the room, help people coach people to walk in the room, shoulders back, smiling, and ready to make things happen. Although I want to transform that for you. You don't have to go through the pain of lacking confidence for years. You can transform that now. In fact, it's actually pretty simple. It just takes 3 things. But I want to slow down. I want to ask you the question. What if today you left this podcast with unstoppable superhero confidence? What would that do for you? What would it do for your emotions, your thoughts? How about your relationships? Maybe you have a wife or a husband or kids at home. How would that impact them? Imagine your kids growing up and they have unstoppable superhero confidence because now you get to teach them how they can become their best version of self, but also how they can go accomplish whatever they desire. Confidence is the core to achievement and becoming. Take away confidence. My assumption is you are not becoming your best self, and nor are you achieving and being as efficient as you possibly can. And that's across even showing up at night for your family. That in mind, let's jump in. How do you overcome and really become the superhero that you're capable of becoming? This is going to sound silly, but it's the truth. Keep your word to yourself and others. Keeping your word to yourself and others is a foundation to any achievement and you becoming anything. Let's really break it down, right? Who are you? It's ultimately your identity, your spirit, your mind, and your body. So let's start with the spirit. If you tell yourself you're going to meditate in the morning and you do it, you are naturally going to become more. If you say you're going to go to church at least 3 out of 4 Sundays a month and you do it, you are going to grow your spirit. All right, on a mindset level, you tell yourself you're going to read 10 pages a day, and then you do it. Your mind becomes a lot more extravagant. Guess what? That could even impact your spirit and your mind. Your spirit, mind, and body, and your identity. Your body. You tell yourself even that you're going to work out 3 days a week for an hour, or even 30 minutes, and then you do it. After so much time, when you tell yourself you're going to do something and you execute, you create unstoppable confidence. You become the superhero. Any habit that you say you're going to do and then you do it? Come on. That's literally the foundation of any success and any becoming. You look at your superhero. Do you look at Batman and does he say, I'm going to work out tomorrow? Does Batman not work out tomorrow? Come on. How about the superhero per se, your mentor, the people that you look up to, the person, these bodybuilders, these people that are wealthy, these people that have amazing relationships, amazing family dynamics. Do you really think that they're saying that they're going to do something and then they don't do it? That is the foundation to any success in anything. The moment that you say something without the words, I promise, and do it, and you're as good as your word to yourself and others, you immediately begin to create superhero, unstoppable confidence. So that's my challenge to you today. Now, how do you do that, right? Maybe you've not been keeping your word for a long time. And if you're this person that I'm talking to and you haven't been keeping your word to yourself and others for a long time, you may be thinking, well, I've tried this, Braiden. I've tried to commit to working out and I just give up after a month. Or I try to be present with my family and it gives me anxiety. So after a week or two, I give up. My question is, are you going to stay being a victim? Or are you ready to be that victor? Are you ready to be your superhero? Because people are relying on you. You're relying on yourself. How long are you going to allow that pain to seep in within your veins of you becoming your own villain? What if you were that victor today? It's really this simple. All you need is a schedule. That's it. I'm assuming, us being entrepreneurs, my assumption is that you have a schedule for your business, how it operates through product creation and development to marketing to sales to your operations and client fulfillment. I assume you have a schedule for that. That way you operate your business and you scale it. What about for you? What about for your family? You commit to doing the dishes for your wife? Schedule it. You don't even have to think about it at that point. You promise your kids a fishing trip? Instead of just consistently promising, schedule it. You know that project that you promised your wife that you would do for a while, or that project you promised you would do your wife for a while, and it's just been sitting there? Schedule it. If you have to schedule it 10 different times with 30-minute increments, at least you're making progress. At least you're getting it done. And then guess what? You're keeping your word without even having to think about it. Instead of having this list within your mind or this list that is unstoppable on your notepad where you don't even know where to begin, schedule it. And then you don't have to think about if or when. It's just when you get to that day that you schedule that you execute it. You keep that word. The second is to do your best. You put something on your calendar, you keep your word, you simply do your best. Now, no bullcrap. You know what your best is. I know what your best is. You can lie to anybody in this world and say, I did my best. You know, for that matter, as to whether you did. And the truth of the matter is, if you're lying to yourself, you're not keeping your word. So if you tell your wife you're going to do something, if you tell yourself you're going to do something, and then you don't do your best, you might as well not do it at all. That's like saying, hey guys, I'm going to go run for 30 minutes today. And then 90% of the time you're walking. Now, if that's actually your best, that's fine. Although if that is not your best, you might as well not do it at all, because you're going to come back from that essentially walk and you're going to beat yourself up after that. You're going to say, I could have done better. Just always do your best, you guys. That's all I'm asking you to do. Commit to it and execute it at your full capacity. I mean, you've seen superhero movies, Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man. Do they get their butts kicked sometimes? Absolutely. Do they do their best? Absolutely. Do they keep their word even when it's scary? Absolutely. They don't squander. They don't leave. They don't give up. They do it until death, you guys. If you keep your word, just like all the superhero movies, If you do your best, just as every superhero in this world, you will have unstoppable superhero confidence. Now, that leaves for the third thing, and that's to grow, right? Just like any superhero, my personal favorite superhero is Iron Man. I mean, he has the lifestyle, he has the mindset, he has a phenomenal life, and it's just something to look up to as far as I'm concerned. Every time he loses something, he always does what's necessary to grow. If something's not working efficiently, he doesn't wait for it to not work efficiently again. He does what's necessary so when he has to go to battle again, he does better. That's just it, you guys. When you commit to something forward for yourself, for your relationship, for whatever the case is, you make that word, you show up and you do your best. Whatever doesn't work, you just simply have to grow. So going back to the analogy of somebody committing to doing 30-minute run, and then they do it, although they walked 90% of the time, if that's where you're at, that's actually perfectly fine as long as you're doing your best. The next time for growth, next run you walk 89% of the time, and then 85% of the time, and then 80% of the time. And then sooner or later, you're going to go on this 30-minute run and you're going to be running the entire time. Then guess what? Maybe instead of doing that 3 times a week, you do that 4 times a week. Or maybe you keep the 3 times a week and you just make it 40 minutes and then 45 minutes. Or maybe you start to run faster. The point is every level that you accomplish, in order to get to the next level, it's going to bring new devils that you have to overcome. So what does that take? If you just keep keeping your word, if you keep doing your best, and if you keep growing, you're going to become the superhero that you're capable of becoming. You're going to have the confidence. You're going to become the best version of yourself, and you're going to start to see that you're accomplishing more than ever before. With yourself, with your relationships, with your business, with your finances, you name it. You're going to become unstoppable. And you're really going to start to run towards that destiny that you're capable of accomplishing. This is your time, you guys. Again, I'm going to come back to the point that I made earlier. If you don't transform this now, what does your life look like for the next year? Heck, for the next week? Are you going to really just be okay with these bad habits that you've just become accustomed to? Are you impacting your kids, your future kids, your family, yourself? Is that really the life you want? Or are you ready to buckle down and say, you know what, from this moment forward, we're going to burn all my past beliefs, thoughts, emotions, behaviors to the ground, and I'm going to transcend this. I'm going to transform now, because transformation doesn't take time. It takes a moment of choice. And from this moment forward, I keep my word to myself and others. From this moment forward, I do my best always. From this moment forward, I grow every single damn day. If you do that, in the next 5 years, what is that going to look like for you? In the next year, what does life look like for you? With that in mind, you guys, if you liked what you heard, go ahead and subscribe and leave a review. This helps me to, one, do what you guys want on my individual podcast like today, but it also ensures me to get the highest quality guests possible to bring the most entertainment and the most quality for you guys to transform your life to become your true authentic self and build that business that you deserve. Also, why I have you here, if you are ready to create this unstoppable superhero confidence and you want a coach in your corner to truly help you transform your life, go to braidenbelnap.com or go to the link below. Go through my one-on-one coaching application. We'll sit down as a gift from me to you, and we'll really decipher this together of creating that vision, putting a plan together, and ultimately overcoming your biggest obstacle. And then we'll keep transforming together one step at a time. Have a wonderful rest of your day, you guys.